Every draft, there's always that one guy who is well known amongst the scouts and college football professionals, but almost unheard of by the media. Last year, I pointed out Jalix Hunt and Tip Ryman for the Patriots. And then there was also Joe Andreessen, but both the scouts and the media missed him. Then there's some guys that people are aware of, but make that really late surge to climb the boards from relatively unknown to a solid day 2 or even first round pick. And like I said last year, Quinion Mitchell is probably going to be the best corner in the draft, and it looks like it. I also pointed out Marshawn Kneeland. The year prior, we had Pop Douglas, Tucker Kraft, Yaya Diaby, Jack Campbell, and Cody Mock. I mention those names because, for the most part, those guys were not being projected by the media to be drafted as high as they were at the end of the college season. But after their all-star games, their combine and pro day, these guys were some of the big headlines, with all the draft media heads finally getting word about how scouts are foaming at the mouth for these guys. Well, I got one for you before his name gets big. I present to you Ty Robinson, a physically imposing defensive tackle from Nebraska who is 6'6", 310 pounds of pure corn-fed USDA buck steak. I had Ty in the 150 to 175 range on my big board, but I was watching some more tape on Rutgers' monstrosic left tackle Holland Pierce, and I noticed he was going up against another Goliath human being, and it was Ty. I had Ty as an interior defensive lineman, but there he is, head up on a tackle. So I turned my attention to him, and after that game, he's a top 100 guy for me now. I really wanted to highlight him because I've had a few people point out Kentucky's Deion Walker, who is a 6'6", 340-pound defensive tackle who has impressive upside and is being projected as a first-rounder or perhaps an early day 2 guy. Well, I thought I do like the idea of Deion, but I'm not going to go there this draft, at least not as a top 50 pick. Well, for me, Ty not only offers a similar combination of size, athleticism, and impact as Deion, but Ty's versatility makes him a particularly intriguing option for New England, who could use that adaptability and high football IQ along their defensive front. In Nebraska's 3-4 hybrid defense, Robinson demonstrated his ability to impact games both as a run defender and a pass rusher. I think Ty might be this year's Tip Ryman, somebody who's relatively unknown to the public until he's staring you right in the face as an absolute physical freak and one of the best at his position. The floor is high enough, but the ceiling is kind of unknown, perhaps incredibly high in the right system. And it makes sense. Ty checks a lot of boxes. With a frame that stands out even amongst NFL caliber players, Robinson has the physical tools to be a difference maker at the next level. His leadership on and off the field, evidenced by his role as a captain at Nebraska, definitely underscores his character and obviously work ethic, aligning with the type of players Patriots fans want to actually see on their team. And Ty is not just a big wrecking ball that is all potential. He has the stats to back it up. Robinson has been a consistent force on Nebraska's defensive line throughout his college career, culminating in this 2024 breakout season for him. This year, 58 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, 3 pass deflections, and 1 forced fumble. Career-wise, 185 total tackles, 28 tackles for loss, and 15 sacks, so decent amount of production here. His ability to contribute against both the run and pass is reflected in his well-rounded stat line. What is more, digging into Robinson's tape, his production was not just blown plays or easy tackles. A good chunk of his production came in high leverage situations, as he frequently disrupted plays on third down and in the red zone. So the guy is a playmaker. So just going over his strengths, versatility, and alignment, this guy is all over Nebraska's front. Nose guard, 3-tech, 5-tech. This versatility allows him to fit seamlessly in the Patriots' multiple front defenses, which often requires linemen to move between gaps and adapt to different roles depending on the offensive formation. Obviously, the next one is going to be elite frame and power. 6'6", 310. He's got the ideal build for a defensive tackle, and he's got long arms, 34.5 inches, which is obviously going to allow him to control blockers at the point of attack and disengage quickly to make plays. He consistently generates power from his lower body, driving offensive linemen back and anchoring against the run, or bull rushing in pass situations. Next, run-stopping prowess. Probably his strongest suit. His ability to clog running lanes is a cornerstone of his game. His combination of strength, size, awareness enables him to stack and shed blockers effectively, making him a menace in short yardage situations and goal line situations. During his senior season, he posted career high in tackles for loss and run stops, ranking him amongst the best in the Big Ten. Next, high motor, big effort. This guy's obviously a relentless competitor, never takes a play off. His effort on every snap is evident, whether he's chasing down ball carriers on the backside or fighting through double teams. The Patriots should enjoy his effort, and he's a guy who plays through the whistle. Now, something I need to note, improved pass rush arsenal. This was the big eye-opener for me. This is where he made a big leap this season. His bull rush is a reliable weapon, but he's added a swipe move and a rip move to his repertoire. So, something to make note of. These developments led to a career best 6.5 sacks this season. Pretty good for a guy who almost always got double teamed. Football IQ, leadership. Robinson's understanding of blocking schemes and ability to diagnose plays make him a dependable presence on the field. It's obvious he's diagnosing what's going on. He's not just putting blinders on. And as a team captain, he clearly commands respect on the field and certainly shows support for his fellow teammates after making a big player stop. Qualities the Patriots absolutely need to prioritize in this upcoming draft in order to start establishing that blue-collar workhorse attitude that resonates with the fan base. Rather than just going out and finding highlight hustlers, find guys who want to be here, want to work, and that fans can enjoy. Now, weaknesses, a lot of them have to do with his size, which is interesting because who doesn't like a 6'6", 310-pound defensive tackle? But it does open him up to some risks. First thing, lack of elite quickness. While he does have above average athleticism for his size, he's a big dude and he's very athletic, but that first step quickness is not going to be at the same level as an elite pass rusher. That's okay. It's good, but his hip mobility and anthropometrics hinder his first step out of his three-point. He will probably have to adjust his stance at the NFL level based upon his alignment. Just something to add to the toolbox and work on. Next, another thing, consistency with pad level. Again, he's 6'6". He's going to occasionally struggle to maintain low pad level. It's just an issue with big dudes, right? Now, what the problem is that smaller, more technical sound linemen are going to neutralize his power. Another size-related issue, limited bend and flexibility. Again, somebody with that height and build is naturally going to limit his ability to bend and around the corner on the edge, or when pursuing plays laterally. Next, refinement is still needed in pass rush. Despite showing improvement, he still needs to figure out a few more moves and get some additional pass rush techniques in his arsenal. Last, inconsistent finishing. Now, it's not about trying, but Robinson occasionally struggles to finish plays, whether due to over pursuit or just failing to secure tackles in space. Just a big dude, he's super disruptive, but he needs to actually turn those pressures into sacks and not just being a giant freight train. Now, why would the Patriots actually want him? I really like Ty for the Patriots for several reasons. First, he would really help them formulate some interesting fronts and personnel combinations. From eating up space in odd man fronts to penetrating gaps on even man alignments. Robinson's size, strength, and football IQ make him an ideal candidate to thrive regardless of the front or alignment. Now, potential roles on early downs, Robinson can serve as a run-stuffing 3-4 defensive end or a 4-3 defensive tackle, where his strength and ability to hold the point of attack would be invaluable. Now, on passing downs, while not an elite pass rusher, Robinson's ability to collapse the pocket with power could make him a valuable piece in sub-packages, particularly in stunts and twists. But in general, as a football player, Ty Robinson is the type of player who embodies many of the qualities the New England Patriots should be prioritizing in their draft prospects. The versatility, leadership, and strong work ethic. This combination of size, power, and run-stopping ability, all great, but you need that guy who's willing to move around, the guy who wants to be a leader and just shows up every day and is committed to doing what the team needs. Yes, the guy can improve his pass rushing skills, but that's a hint at untapped potential, not a limitation. He's still trending up. And yes, while Robinson may never be an elite pass rusher, his ability to consistently disrupt the line of scrimmage and control the point of attack makes him a valuable addition to any defensive line. For the Patriots, Robinson's presence could solidify their interior defense for years to come, which should make him a top target in the 2025 NFL Draft. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, we don't really need a D tackle. Well, kinda. I mean, for the Patriots, Ty would represent an excellent value at a high floor player who fills in the need along the defensive line. You've got veterans like Wise, Aquali, and Godchild getting up there in age. Robinson could step in as a rotational piece immediately and develop into a long-term starter. It's a deep defensive tackle class. I think they should try to take advantage of that. So, right now, I would think Ty has the potential to become a starter with upside at the NFL level. That being said, Ty could also have a chance to really be a pre-draft darling if the testing numbers show he has more upside. Now, what would that be? If he can get around 5 seconds in that 40, with a 10-yard split around 175, if his vert's around 30 inches, broad over 9, bench above 28, 3 cone in that 7.6 range, and 20-yard around 4.6, he's probably going to solidify as a solid day 2 prospect. Now, could the Patriots actually afford this? Maybe. I don't hate the idea of getting a guy who can move all around the defensive front and play all 3 downs if needed. He could add depth at several spots, but could be a mismatch nightmare as well. I like to think about maybe Calais Campbell and his ability to play a massive D end or help on the inside. Imagine Ty with Keon, Barmore, and a speed rusher on 3rd down. Or you can put him in with Wise and Godchild and White and Jennings on early downs. You gotta keep in mind, Quali and Farms are up for contract, and maybe Ty can be an upgrade over Eric Johnson. So, I would think there is a need to be looking for a D tackle, and like I said, the defensive tackle class is very deep this year. It's just going to come down to who you want and where can you possibly get him. I'm not sure if Ty's really worthy of a day 2 pick, so maybe an early day 3. We'll see. Anyway, just wanted to point him out to you. What do you guys think of Ty? Should the Patriots go after him? If so, when? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.